Many restaurants and bars like Jack's Abbey are still offering takeout service, but others are closing their doors altogether for the time being as they make tough decisions about how to best protect their staff and position themselves to stay afloat long term. I'm joined now via Skype by Joanne Chang of Myers & Chang and Flour Bakeries, which are closing through the first week in April. You know, Joanne, first of all, hello. You may be the best baker in America, but are you not even prouder of the fact that the Skype is working? Tell the truth.
That was a little arduous, but I'm glad we got that done.
Great. So I got an email from you and your husband, Christopher, yesterday morning at 10 a.m. saying that you'd be moving to takeout and delivery as per the governor's order. And 3 hours and 46 minutes later, I got a second email from you two saying you're closed till April 6th. What happened?
So originally, we recognized that we were going to need to reduce our hours and then only do takeout. And then right when we made that decision, the governor also said everybody's just going to do takeout. So we were kind of like, okay, we're doing what we're supposed to do. And then the more we thought about it, the more we talked to our staff, our managers, the more we researched, we realized that what really needs to happen is that we need to practice social distancing. I mean, we really need to minimize the amount of contact that people are having with each other for a short period of time, make the sacrifice now so that we can minimize how quickly this is spreading. One of the things that we're realizing is that my entire staff, well, most of the staff, they come to work via T. So they're going to be on the T, coming to work. Who knows what they're going to encounter, and then they're coming into the bakeries, into the restaurants, into the kitchens, trying to, do their work. They're nervous, they're feeling stressed. We don't know when guests come in what types of sanitary practices the guests are practicing. So it started to really snowball in our heads, realizing that we are potentially furthering the problem if we continue to stay open.
So this is essentially, Joanne, and I'm not surprised, considering I don't think I've ever had a conversation with you where you didn't mention the people who work for you. This is more about protecting your workers than the ability of your businesses to operate as takeout and delivery. Is that right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Christopher and I, we took a look at the numbers, and our numbers are still strong. Like, people still want takeout, and we are thrilled that we were able to offer it. But it's as much about the staff as it is about the public, and recognizing that we don't want to continue what seems to be happening. I mean, if you look around the world, we're watching other countries having gone through this, and I feel like without the government telling us what to do, we kind of all have to decide, like, how are we going to work together to minimize the impact of this. I think for all of us, this is insane. Like, it's like a Twilight Zone scenario, and there's no rule book on what's right and what's wrong, but just trying to think about the bigger picture for everybody. We realized, Christopher and I, and then the managers, we spent so much time talking about this. I think every restaurateur today is, exhausted from just talking and looking at all the options and trying to do what's right for, everybody's trying to do what's right for everybody.
You know what I'm amazed by is competitive as your industry is. I'm always amazed about how deep and positive the relationships are with people with whom you're in competition. So I'm assuming you've been speaking to a ton of them. I mean, is the mood as horrible as I would guess it would be amongst your fellow restaurateurs? And are they, despite that, if that's true, did they think Baker made the right decision? Do you?
Do I think he made the right decision to limit to takeout only?
Yeah.
Yes. I think it's a necessary step to try to tell restaurants we're going to only allow, half. I know that one proposal, or I think what the mayor had proposed, is to do 50% seating, and I don't think that that's realistic. I mean, we know it from having tried it before we were supposed to try it. We said, oh, you know what, let's just limit the seating at the restaurant. And, people will move seats together, and it got to be too hard to handle. To answer your question,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, to answer your question about how other restaurateurs are feeling, at least, Christopher and I, we talk a lot to our friends and our peers, and I think everybody is, I think restaurateurs as a whole, we're a positive group anyway. I mean, what we do is feed people and try to bring joy and happiness to people. So this is something that we love to do. So I think we're positive as people, but right now it's really hard because we can't do it anymore. So I think we're all just trying to do the right thing. We're just trying to do the right thing to make sure that there is an amazing Boston community for us to reopen to.
I'm so glad you said what you just said, as hard as it was, because what I was going to say to you, but you said more beautifully, is you don't just run restaurants with your husband, you go to them, and I've heard you describe them in the most beautiful terms. Eating out is such a huge part of our social lives and interaction with other human beings. The hole this creates is so intense. It is just unbelievable.
I mean, one of the things that we're thinking about now is for at least the next 2 to 3 weeks, we know our teams are not going to be seeing each other every day. And so we're actively working on how we can connect everybody. We want to host virtual workout classes, and we're reaching out to the teams to see who knows how to do something that you want to teach everybody. And we're going to see if we can set up like video cameras people have in their homes that maybe somebody can teach us how to salsa dance or something that connects this whole Flower and Myers and Chang community together. And so I think we're all going to be noticing it because we're not going to be able to meet our friends at dinner, or meet somebody for coffee or whatever. It's really changing our world.
I have to say, well, hopefully all of us are going to contribute to all the private funds being raised for the workers in restaurants. Charlie Baker is getting rid of the week waiting period for unemployment. I mean, our thoughts are obviously with the hundreds of thousands of men and women who work in places like yours all across the state. And the faster you reopen, the happier we'll all be. Joanne, thanks so much, and best to Christopher, your husband. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.